As a lifelong admirer of football's magic, I've always believed that the sport's true legends aren't just players, they're poets of the pitch, weaving dreams with every dribble and strike. Few embody that poetry more vividly than Diego Armando Maradona, the golden boy from the slums of Buenos Aires who rose to conquer the world. Recently, I've delved into the archives of his extraordinary career, poring over match reports, eyewitness accounts, and the endless tributes that still echo 5 years after his passing on November 25, 2020. What emerges is a tale of genius, grit, glory, and heartbreak, a life that mirrored the beautiful game's highs and lows. Allow me to share it with you, as if we're chatting over coffee in a sun-drenched cafe, the ball at our feet, on this crisp Sunday afternoon of October 19, 2025, at 12:43 p.m. Diego was born on October 30, 1960, in Lanús, Buenos Aires, but his real cradle was the dusty streets of Villa Fiorito, a shanty town where poverty clawed at every corner. The fifth of 8 children to factory worker Diego Sr. and Dalma Tota Franco, young Diego received his first football at age 3, a worn-out leather ball that became his constant companion. By 10, his left foot was a wand of wonder, earning him a spot in Argentinos Juniors' youth team, Los Cebolitas. They went unbeaten for 136 games, a record that whispered of destiny, with Diego often juggling the ball barefoot on cracked concrete pitches. El Pibe de Oro, the Golden Boy, became his moniker, a nod to his urchin charm, unyielding cunning, and the glint of mischief in his eyes as he outwitted older boys. His professional debut came at 15 on October 20, 1976, for Argentinos Juniors against Talleres de Cordoba. A wiry 1.65 meters tall, with a mop of black hair and a grin that disarmed opponents, Diego dazzled with his vision, balance, and audacious dribbles, often nutmegging defenders with a flick of his heel. He scored his first senior goal on November 14, 1976, a curling shot from distance that sent the crowd into a frenzy. Over 5 seasons, he played 167 matches, netting 116 goals, a haul that included leading Argentinos to the 1981 Metropolitan Championship. His signature move, a low center of gravity shimmy, left defenders grasping at air. Scouts swarmed like seagulls, but it was Boca Juniors, his boyhood love, that signed him in 1981 for a then record fee of $4 million. In just 40 games, he scored 28, clinching the national championship with a flair that made Buenos Aires believe in miracles, including a legendary free kick against River Plate that bent around a 5-man wall. Europe beckoned in 1982, and Barcelona shelled out £5 million, the world's highest transfer fee, to bring the prodigy to Catalonia. But El Diego's Camp Nou spell was turbulent. Injuries from brutal tackles, notably by Athletic Bilbao's Andoni Goicoechea, who fractured his ankle with a cynical challenge in 1983, earning the nickname Butcher of Bilbao, and clashes with coach Udo Lattek, saw him play only 58 games, scoring 38. Yet, he lifted the Copa del Rey in 1983 with a stunning solo goal in the final and the Spanish Super Cup, his mazy runs hinting at untapped sorcery. Off the pitch, he clashed with the club's authoritarian regime, once storming out of training after a fine for tardiness, a rebellion that foreshadowed his Napoli move. In 1984, Napoli paid a record £6.90 million, a fortune for a club from sleepy southern Italy, long starved of glory. Diego arrived to a city draped in banners, his number 10 jersey a symbol of hope for Neapolitans, the underdogs of Italy. As captain, he orchestrated ballets of brilliance, 2 Scudetti, 1986-87, 1989-90, the UEFA Cup, 1989, with a dramatic penalty shootout win over Stuttgart, and the Coppa Italia, 1987. He played 259 games, scoring 115 goals, including a hat-trick against Lazio in 1985 that sealed Napoli's first major title. His artistry transcended stats. Dribbles through 3 defenders, pinpoint passes, and free kicks that kissed the crossbar. Neapolitans saw in Diego their own defiance against northern elites. Walls bore murals of him blessing the city, and chants of Diego, Diego shook Stadio San Paolo like thunder. He fathered 2 daughters, Dalma, born 1987, and Giannina, born 1989, with wife Claudia Villafine. But shadows loomed, cocaine whispers, late-night escapades with the Camorra Mafia, and the weight of adoration that fueled his highs and lows. Internationally, Maradona's saga peaked at the 1986 World Cup in Mexico. Capped 91 times for Argentina with 34 goals, he arrived burdened by 1982's heartbreak, eliminated early amid tears after a 3-1 loss to Brazil, where he was man-marked out of the game. But the 86 was his symphony. As captain, he scored or assisted in every knockout win. The quarter-final against England? Football's eternal poem. Minutes into the second half, the hand of God, a sly punch past Peter Shilton, cheekily attributed to divine aid, sparking outrage and laughter. 5 minutes later, the goal of the century. A 60-yard slalom past 5 defenders, Peter Beardsley, Peter Reid, Terry Butcher, Terry Fenwick, and Shilton. A blur of feints and fury, ending in a chipped finish that silenced 114,000 in Azteca Stadium. Argentina triumphed 2-1, then 2-0 over Belgium, with a header from a corner he delivered, before edging West Germany 3-2 in the final, with a pass that set up Jorge Burruchaga's winner. Diego touched the ball 53 times, scored 5 goals, assisted 5 more, and claimed the golden ball. At 25, he had etched his name in eternity, lifting the trophy with tears streaming down his face. The descent was as dramatic as the ascent. At the 1990 World Cup, a semi-final penalty miss against Italy, saved by Sergio Goycochea in Naples, his adopted home, broke him emotionally. Argentina fell 1-0 to West Germany in the final, despite his heroic efforts on a patched-up ankle. Napoli's second title in 1990 masked deeper cracks: drugs, scandals, a mafia-tainted entourage that extorted him. In 1991, a positive cocaine test after a 4-1 win over Bari earned a 15-month ban, stripping him of the Italian Footballer of the Year award he'd just won. He returned to Sevilla in 1992-93, playing 26 games and scoring 7, including a memorable chip against Atletico Madrid. But injuries and disputes with coach Carlos Bilardo soured his stint. At Newell's Old Boys in 1993-94, he played just 5 games, scoring once before the 1994 World Cup beckoned. After a dazzling opener against Greece, a goal and an assist, he was expelled for ephedrine doping, collapsing on the pitch in a moment that stunned the world. Back at Boca in 1995-97, he played 30 games, scored 7, including a free kick against Vélez Sarsfield, retiring on his 37th birthday October 30th, 1997, after a final Boca triumph, surrounded by 40,000 fans chanting his name. Post-retirement, Maradona coached with mixed success. Mandiu de Corrientes, 1994, 12 games, no wins. Racing Club, 1995, 8 games, 1 win. Argentina, 2008-10, a chaotic reign ending in a 4-0 World Cup quarter-final loss to Germany. UAE's Al Daliwasel, 2011-12, 17 games, mid-table finish. Dorados de Sinaloa, 2018-19, playoff near misses. And Gimnasia Esgrima, 2019-20, battling illness. His life was a whirlwind: addiction battles, rehab stints in Cuba and Switzerland, gastric bypass surgery, 2005, losing 50 kilograms, heart scares, a 2004 collapse, and a 2000 near-fatal overdose that required a medically induced coma. Yet he remained Argentina's beating heart, endorsing the underdog left, tattooing Fidel Castro and Che Guevara on his skin, and fathering more children. Diego Jr., 1986 with Cristina Sinagra, and later Jana, 1996 with Valeria Sabalan, amid personal storms and a 2004 divorce from Claudia. In 2000, FIFA crowned him Joint Player of the Century with Pelé, a testament to his 500-plus club games and 259 goals. Diego died on November 25, 2020, at 60 from cardiac arrest 2 weeks after brain surgery for a subdural hematoma in a rented house in Tigre, Argentina. Buenos Aires halted. Naples wept, with 15,000 fans defying COVID, 19 rules for a vigil. His legacy? A World Cup won on willpower, A left foot that rewrote physics, a reminder that genius dances with demons. In a sport of fleeting fame, Maradona endures as the eternal dribbler, the street kid who crowned kings. His 1986 jersey, sold for $9.3 million in 2022, the priciest ever. If you're ever in Naples, raise a glass at his mural on Via Emanuele de Deo, where his spirit still dances. What a ride, eh?